Hey Talking fam, and welcome to another Talking Sports video. And today we are going to go ahead and finish off our series Top 100 NFL Players of 2022. We are down to our last set, number 10 through number 1, and it's finally time. It is week 16, and no matter what, no time it is to release our top 10 players. This is from NFL Network's show that they post before every season. The players vote on it. So, yeah, it is basically the official voting of the top 100 players, voted by coaches and players, and I think there is some reporters in there as well. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so at number 10, we have Travis Kelce, a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is unstoppable, especially last year. Last year was his sixth straight season with 1,000 receiving yards, and it's going to look like it is going to be his seventh straight. He has 912 yards already, and through 14 games, through 73 catches. He has 12 touchdowns, already more than this is his career high, I think. Career high in touchdowns. So that is really good. 12 touchdowns this year. Career high. Pretty good, I'd say. With already, and through 14 games, which is really good. He last year, though, is what we've taken a look at. He had 1,125 yards on 92 catches and 9 touchdowns. One of his lower seasons in the past few ones, but still a really good season with his receiving yards as well, and a lot of catches also. Alright, so it does look like he does have 91 catches now, 91 catches and 1,144 yards. He's already eclipsed his yards from last year, and he's touchdowns as well. He just needs 2 more receptions to pass last year's as well. So, that is Travis Kelce. At number 9, we have Jalen Ramsey to basically Los Angeles Rams. Last year, 77 combined tackles and 4 interceptions for 41 yards. No touchdowns and no sacks. So 4 interceptions and 77 tackles are pretty good, especially for Jalen Ramsey. His career high in combined tackles, and his tied for his career high in interceptions. That is definitely lower than what he has had this year. He does have 2 sacks this year, though. His career high. Well, tied for a career high. And then at number 8, we have Patrick Mahomes. He has went down a lot since last year, and I think he's went down 7 spots. He was number 1 last year, and he's went down 7. He's at number 8 this year. At age 27, he is still one of the best quarterbacks in this league, and one of the best players, in the league as well. Last year, he threw for 4,839 yards, 37 touchdowns to 13 interceptions with a 98 passer rating. Definitely one of his lower seasons. The second worst career season with passer ratings, below his rookie season when he only played 1 game and he had a 76 passer rating. So this is so far his lowest full season passer rating, 98.5, with his highest being 113.8 in his first season in the NFL. Full season, when he had his 50 touchdown pass season. So, he did pretty good as well. 66% completion percentage. That was tied for 2020's season. Not his best. It's basically tied for his career best. 2021 and 2022. Alright, moving on. At number 7, we have Devonte Adams, wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders. When you take a look at his stats for last year when he was on the Packers with Aaron Rodgers, he had 123 catches for 1,553 yards and 11 touchdowns. So he had a lot of catches. I think he probably led the league in catches I think Cooper Kupp had I think he had Cooper Kupp last year had 145 catches, so he did not lead the league in catches. But Devonte Adams with a really good year. And yeah, so far this year he has 999 receiving yards with 10 touchdowns. He's not going to pass last year's yardage or catches, so too bad. But he is doing another great season with Las Vegas and Derek Carr. All right, at number 6, we have defensive lineman T.J. Watt for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last year, he had 64 combined tackles with 22 sacks. That is amazing. 22 sacks, his career best. His last career best was in 2020 with 15 sacks. So far this year he has not played. He has two interceptions though. He has 1.5 sacks and 19 combined tackles this year. He has not played most of the season, but when he has played, he's been phenomenal again. At number 5, we have the running back Jonathan Taylor. He has disappointed this year, but before last year, he was still one of the best players in the game last season. Now, when you take a look at his stats are pretty good. So in 2021, his second career season, he ran the ball 332 times and 1,811 rushing yards, 18 touchdowns, 360 receiving yards with 2 receiving touchdowns. So far this year, he has disappointed, way lower than last year. This year so far, he ran the ball 192 times, 861 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, and only 143 receiving yards, and no receiving touchdowns. So when you take a look at his stats compared to last year and the year before that, he has done a much greater job than so far this year. He has had injuries, so that I will take that into account as well, but he just has disappointed. Alright, at number 4, we have Cooper Kupp. And Cooper Kupp is phenomenal. He won the Triple Crown last year, 145 catches for 1,947 yards and 16 touchdowns. He ran the ball for 18 yards as well. And Cooper Kupp is just phenomenal. When you look at his stats, and he's won the Triple Crown, guys, that's just amazing. You rarely see that happen in any sport. So Cooper Kupp making it in to the top 5. All right, next up at number 3, we are going to have Aaron Rodgers, who has also disappointed a lot this year. When you look at his stats last year, he threw for 4,115 yards, 37 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, and a 111.9 passer rating. He also had a 68.9 completion percentage. Now this year is much lower because he is without Devonte Adams. He has a 64.8 completion percentage with 2,682 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions with a 92.9 passer rating. Now that's not. I don't think that's his worst season to date, because his worst season looks like it's going to be 2017, when he threw the ball for 64.7 completion percentage, 1,675 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions with a 97.2 passer rating. Now, you also have another season as well. Compared to that, you also have 2010 as well. Wasn't that great. 2013 wasn't that great. And that's about it for Aaron Rodgers. He has been phenomenal. He won the MVP in 2020, where he threw for 48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, and in 2021 when he threw for 37-4 ratio as well. So a good number 3 before the season started for Aaron Rodgers. All right, at number 2, we have the defensive tackle, Aaron Darnold. Aaron Darnold is the top defensive player in the league, according to this. And he had a pretty good season last year and won the Super Bowl. He had 84 combined tackles and 12.5 sacks. Now, he hadn't had his best season. He had his best season in combined tackle-wise, but in sack-wise, his best season was 20.5, and that was back in 2018. This wasn't his best season to date, but it was one of the best ones. So, Aaron Darnold, pretty good defensive tackle. All right, and finally at number 1, we have Tom Brady. And another really disappointed one this year. It's not that disappointing, but when you look at his touchdown-interception ratio, it is pretty good. But let's go ahead and take a look at last year's stats. In 2021, when they lost to the Rams in the playoffs, you had completion percentage of 67.5, 5,316 yards, 43 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, and a 102.1 passer rating. Now this year, he has a 66.2 completion percentage, 3,051 passing yards, 14 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, and a 92.4 passer rating. Now, when you look at his stats compared, it's not his worst season in passer rating, as he had a pretty bad season in 2001, 2002, 2003, 2006, 2008, 2013, 2019 as well. So, 2019 was his last year with the Patriots when he threw 24 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Now, 2020 was another good season, 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. 2021 was also 43 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. So he's had 12 touchdowns each so far of the 2 seasons, full seasons he's played with the Buccaneers. But he has 2 so far this year in 14 games, just like I said. So he is doing really better in his interception than last year. But his touchdowns are way down. There's 43 touchdowns, 40 touchdowns in his last 2 seasons, compared to the 14 touchdowns through 14 weeks. That 14 games, now that's not that great. So that is going to be the top 10 players in the NFL, and that also wraps up our top 100 players in the NFL series. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe down below. I would really appreciate it, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.